What's good in the interweb subscribers, and welcome back to Drama with Ted and Tina. My name is Chance. Ted and Tina took a well-deserved holiday, so they brought me in to continue this cheating saga going forward. In part 3, his wife finally left, but not before rewriting history for her parents and sending him a week's worth of guilt-ridden text like she's starring in her own redemption arc. Meanwhile, Greg is spiraling, Katrina's hiding out in my guest room, and he's holding his sanity together with sarcasm, security cameras, and strong coffee. He didn't ask for this emotional buddy comedy, but here we are. Trauma-bonded roommates dodging Greg like he's a lawsuit with legs. If you thought part 2 was wild, buckle up. This part, it gets personal. My wife Megan left to stay at her parents' house on Monday morning. I know this because when I called her parents to tell them about the whole flaming circus of betrayal and our separation, they were stunned. Apparently, she only told them we had a fight, left out the part where she starred in a guest appearance on Greg's bedroom highlight reel. Her parents were upset, understandably, but also supportive of my decision. I also told my own parents and close friends. Everyone was shocked, disappointed, and now collectively mad enough to form a support group titled, "We Can't Believe Megan Did That." Since then, Megan has been texting me like her thumbs are powered by regret. Long messages, novel-length apologies, saying she still loves me, she's sorry that it was a stupid mistake, like she accidentally left the oven on, not detonated our marriage. Even a couple of her friends reached out to say she's spiraling and I should maybe talk to her. I shared a few details with them, like how she took Greg on a romantic trip I had planned for us. That usually shuts down the sympathy. After hearing that, they mostly just said, wow, and retreated into the awkward silence of betrayal realization. I met with my lawyer this week. I had originally planned it for later, but with all the Greg chaos going down, I decided sooner was better. Turns out our province is a no-fault divorce zone. So even though I've got enough evidence to make a Netflix docuseries, it doesn't matter legally. My lawyer said the fastest, cheapest path is to separate now and officially divorce in a year. I could pursue an adultery claim, but it would take just as long, cost more, and likely lead to me needing a lawyer and a therapist who charges double for listening to courtroom drama. Megan still hasn't returned from her parents' house, which made packing her stuff a lot less dramatic. I moved her things into the basement and changed the locks on the main floor. It's not quite an eviction, but it's a solid start. I also installed a new security camera system, so if Greg ever shows up again trying to cry on my porch, I'll have high-definition footage for the inevitable courtroom blooper reel. This is what my life has become. Upgrades and surveillance because my marriage exploded like a popcorn bag on full power. Things with Greg have somehow gotten worse. I've been in contact with Katrina all week. She told me Greg's been acting out, sending her weird messages, showing up like a drama gremlin demanding attention. She filed legal paperwork. So did I. I won't go into all the details for legal reasons, but let's just say Katrina doesn't feel safe at home anymore. Her family's in another province, and she doesn't have friends nearby. Since she recently moved, she's kind of stranded. I cleared it with my lawyer and offered her my guest room for now. She's currently staying at my house, not because I'm trying to start a buddy cop sitcom, but because neither of us should be dodging Greg in parking lots. Mentally, I feel like I stepped out of my life and into a low-budget miniseries where the writers hate everyone. It's only been a week and I still haven't fully processed anything. My friends have been amazing though. They've been checking in and hanging out with me. Katrina and I have been helping each other cope. Honestly, I'm a little worried that we're leaning on each other so hard, we're gonna accidentally trauma bond ourselves into a confusing situation. We haven't done anything inappropriate, but the emotional pressure cooker is definitely humming in the background. I start therapy in 2 weeks, which means we've got exactly 13 more potential emotional plot twists before a professional can stop us. Katrina and I both know this arrangement is temporary. She'll go back home once Greg stops playing surprise guest star in everyone's lives. Some folks have warned me that letting her stay here could get messy, that it could lead to intimacy or more confusion. I won't lie, it's comforting having her here. She's the only one who really understands how this feels, not the idea of betrayal, the exact brand of betrayal. Like we both got the same horrible dinner from the same bad restaurant, and now we're comparing food poisoning symptoms on the couch. Confidence-wise, I'm somewhere between a crushed soda can and a mop. I don't get it. I don't think Greg's more attractive than me. So now my brain is busy asking the real torture questions. Is he better in bed? Did he have some magic move? Did he use coupons? I don't know. And I hate that I care. I've had the thought more than once about sleeping with someone else, part anger, part ego repair. But I also know I'm vulnerable right now. And the last thing I need is to make a bad situation worse because my self esteem is being held together by coffee and sarcasm. Security wise, we're covered, cameras installed, locks updated. I'm watching the place like I'm expecting a raccoon with a lawyer to show up. Fortunately, my house has a good layout. The basement and the main floor are completely separate, so when Megan comes back, there won't be any awkward Katrina run-ins. Megan can enjoy the moldy basement vibes while I rebuild my life one meal prep dinner and emotionally loaded podcast at a time. Megan's been at her parents' house all week, apparently hosting a one-woman redemption tour from afar. Meanwhile, I've been getting daily text essays that read like a Hallmark movie script mashed with a TED Talk. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm reading books and listening to podcasts. She's basically doing a self-help montage without the part where she stops being the villain. I read the messages, sure, but I don't respond. I keep reminding myself that the only thing emptier than her promises is her bookshelf. The effort is exhausting. Some days I feel like I need Olympic level discipline not to respond. But then I remember the part where she treated our marriage like a buffet and brought Greg to the main course. This afternoon, she really went for it, sent me an old selfie of us cuddling in bed, all smiles and post I love you glow. Her caption, look how happy we were. Please don't throw our relationship away over my stupid mistake. Oh, I snapped. Not just mentally, I hit reply like I was being timed. I told her, how dare you try to blame me? I reminded her very clearly that she threw it away the moment she started sleeping with Greg in our bed and took him on the romantic getaway I planned. She didn't make one mistake. She made a full season arc of them. This wasn't an oopsie. It was a strategic destruction of everything we built. So I did what any emotionally drained, slightly petty man would do. I marched down to the basement, took a photo of the mattress and her boxes I stashed down there like a raccoon eviction, and sent it to her. I told her not to even think about coming to the front door when she returns because the locks have been changed. Her new entrance is through the basement. She could think about what she did with every creaky stair and spiderweb down there. Then I blocked her. Poof, gone. Radio silence. It felt so good, I almost celebrated with a frozen pizza and a guilt-free nap. On Sunday, I called Megan's best friend. Yes, the same one who had been urging me to talk to Megan, like this was some Nicholas Sparks story waiting for a heartfelt reunion. I told her about Greg, how he stomped his way into our lives, then our house, then tried to turn it into a daytime soap. I explained how he grabbed Megan, shoved her, and was now busy harassing his own wife, Katrina. I told her Katrina was temporarily staying at my place because she didn't feel safe and that I was genuinely worried about Megan's judgment and mental state. I wasn't trying to start drama. I just hoped someone Megan trusted could keep an eye on her and help steer her away from Greg, the human dumpster fire. Her friend was shocked and thanked me, even said she'd tell Megan's parents. She also claimed Megan wasn't talking to Greg anymore and was trying to fix things with me. For a hot second, I actually felt relief. That was cute of me. On Monday, I was driving home from work when I got a text from an unknown number. I know Katrina is staying at your house. Lovely. I messaged Katrina. She confirmed it was from Greg, her husband, who had also sent her the same message along with a screenshot of an Amazon order she forgot to reroute. They still shared an Amazon Prime account and she hadn't changed the password. Greg must have been browsing for a fresh box of delusion when he stumbled across the shipping address. As for how he got my number, I'd love to know too. Naturally, that wasn't the end of it. Megan called me next, yelling and accusing me of sleeping with Katrina out of revenge. I asked her how she even knew, considering she swore she wasn't in contact with Greg. She casually replied that her best friend told her. I reminded her gently that Katrina is staying with me because Greg won't stop acting like a Hallmark villain, and she didn't feel safe. Megan called me a liar and called Katrina some colorful names you can't use in a Chick-fil-A. I hung up. 10 minutes later, Greg called, because of course he did, and demanded to know why Katrina was in my house. Same accusations, same energy. It was like they planned it over brunch. I told him what I told her. Katrina's here because of his mess, not mine. And if he showed up again, he'd be starring in the next episode of Cops. Then the phone rang again. Megan's best friend, now sounding like she just discovered I was a Marvel villain, accused me of lying and manipulating her. Apparently, Megan told her a whole new story, one where I shoved Megan in a fit of rage and Greg heroically stepped in to protect her. Oh, and Katrina and I are apparently having a coordinated revenge affair, which is the real reason she's here. My brain nearly folded. I reminded her that Megan had been blowing up my phone all week with "I'm sorry" text, desperate to win me back. So which is it, abusive jerk or long lost love? She didn't care, said I was a manipulative, cold-hearted monster, and hung up. Incredible character arc, 10/10 for fiction Megan. Yesterday, every one of Megan's friends and a few of our mutual couple friends decided to pile on. Texts, DMs, and voicemails rolled in like I had personally canceled Christmas. Apparently, I'm now the certified villain. The only people still standing by me are my two closest childhood friends, and honestly, they deserve medals. I don't understand how Megan flipped the entire narrative like this. It's like watching someone gaslight an entire village with a smile and a Pinterest board. This isn't the woman I married. This is some crisis version of her who swapped love and accountability for paranoia and fan fiction. Katrina told me this morning that she's taking some time off work and heading to her hometown in another province. She feels bad for all the extra chaos this has caused. I told her it's not her fault, but I get it. She deserves to feel safe. And honestly, I wouldn't wish Greg stalking on my worst enemy. As for me, I'm running on emotional fumes and caffeine at this point. Thankfully, one of my friends offered up his off-season cabin. It's perched by a lake and completely isolated, which is perfect for either deep healing or filming a dramatic indie movie. I plan to take a week off once Katrina leaves and just sit in the silence for a while. Maybe I'll yell into some trees. Maybe I'll cry into a microwave burrito. Who knows? All I know is it'll be peaceful. No Megan, no Grains, no more texts, just me, the lake, and maybe a raccoon that minds its own business better than half the people in my life. So that's where we're at. One ex-friend group, one basement exile, one traumatized Amazon account, and a cabin in the woods later. And somehow it still feels like the calm before the real storm. Because if you think this was the peak of the drama, buckle up. Part 4 is where things get messier, pettier, and somehow even more unbelievable. Let's just say people start popping up where they don't belong, the lies get bolder, and somebody's going to seriously regret not changing their Netflix password. Stay tuned. You're not ready. I wasn't.